Who was Julius Caesar? This is actually a very broad question, so I would like to break it down into smaller parts so we can really find out who this man was, whether that be a hero, a tyrant, an inspiration, or a villain. Now, what better place to start than at the beginning? Who were Caesar's parents? What was his childhood like, and what kind of Rome would create such a man? Julius Caesar was born during the summer of 100 BC in Rome itself. His family, the Julii, were aristocratic and one of the original ruling families, claiming to be descendants of the Trojans and the goddess Venus, both important figures in Rome's mythology and history. Despite this, the family was in decline and they were not particularly wealthy by the time of Caesar's birth. Although his family was essentially royalty, politically they supported the Populares, one of Rome's two rival political groups, which was made up of the lower and middle classes of the Republic. Caesar's father, also called Gaius Julius Caesar, was a successful politician who reached the rank of praetor and also governed the province of Asia. Unfortunately, he died when Caesar was only 16, leaving him as the head of the family. Perhaps leading his family from such a young age is what allowed him to develop into such an important figure. His mother, Aurelia, also came from a powerful Roman family and is praised as being the perfect Roman woman. She was intelligent, independent, and renowned for her beauty and common sense. It is said that behind every great man is a great woman, and Aurelia is the perfect example of this. Powerful Roman women were responsible for running the household and raising the children. Aurelia certainly groomed Caesar for positions of power, ensuring he was well educated and well connected. Somewhat ironically, considering Caesar's later campaigns, one of the first tutors Aurelia hired for her son was an orator of Gallic origin. Caesar also had two older sisters called Julia Major and Julia Minor. Roman naming conventions are actually really interesting, however, this is a topic for another video. Now, let's move on to the Rome which Caesar grew up in. About 50 years before he was born, Rome had won the Punic Wars, however, its population had been absolutely destroyed, thus, Rome was recovering and consolidating. However, when Romans weren't fighting someone else, they were busy fighting each other. The Rome of Caesar's childhood was plagued by civil wars, political conflict, and the resulting famines. When he was only 9 years old, the social wars kicked off, which was essentially Rome's Italian allies demanding Roman citizenship, which, truth be told, was well deserved considering their past loyalty and contributions. Then later in his youth, conflict erupted between the Populares and the Optimates, which developed into one of Rome's most defining civil wars. The Populares were kind of like the liberals. They were interested in the welfare of the lower and middle classes while being open to change. In contrast, the Optimates were conservative. They supported the interests of the wealthy and powerful and wanted to uphold the traditional values of Rome. Caesar's family, unfortunately, was deeply involved with the Populares and got caught up in the whole affair. In fact, the famous general who was responsible for creating the iconic legionary and was the leader of the Populares was actually Julius Caesar's uncle, Gaius Marius. The Populares lost this conflict and Caesar almost lost everything, including his life, and so was Julius Caesar's childhood.